Hi, welcome to Significant Tips with Clay Clem from Team SIG-SAUER. Today I'm going to talk about how I clean and maintain my P320. I have a P320 compact here. It's clear, no magazine. To take it down, you lock the slide to the rear, rotate the takedown lever to the downward position, release the slide, stop, and remove the slide from the grip and frame. You can rotate and twist out the takedown lever and then remove the firing control unit from the grip assembly. If it's dirty, you can use a nylon general purpose brush. I've got one with a thin end and a thick end. I just get in there and scrub, and I use Lucas CLP, Extreme Duty CLP, and I knock off all carbon, dirt, anything that's in there. If there's any old grease or any old oil, I get that out of there. I leave this alone. I don't really do a whole lot with the fire control unit. I leave it intact. I will knock off a lot of the carbon and fouling off of it, but that is it. My main competition gun has approximately 50,000 rounds on it. It's only seen 2 cleanings, and it functions outstanding. The less you can do to mess with your firearm, sometimes the better off it is. Over maintaining a firearm can cause a whole lot of unintended consequences and can wear the firearm out prematurely. So the next thing I do is I take out the recoil and buffer assembly. If this is dirty, I will scrub it with a nylon brush. If there's really significant buildup, I will use a brass brush. You could use this on metal parts to knock off some carbon, but I wouldn't recommend using it on the finish area, as it can damage your finish. If there are some hard to reach places, I recommend getting a plastic dental hook. You can find one on Amazon. I prefer this over a metal hook to get into some crevices and knock out some carbon. Alternatively, you can use Q-tips, and if you don't have a hook, you just take the Q-tip, snap it in half, and try and fracture it like a toothpick, or if you have toothpicks, you can use toothpicks. That's to get into those really fine areas. You might find that inside the channels of the slide, or the areas right on the entrance to the barrel at the chamber. You might find it really hard to get into these really fine nooks and crannies right here at the chamber. After I've taken out the barrel, and I usually don't bore punch it, mostly because unless the barrel's really starting to act weird, there's really no reason for me to mess with it. I've learned over the years that I can get away with relatively not over cleaning my firearms. Over cleaning can actually do more harm than good. If you do use any type of clean it to tear something down, I use Lucas Contact Cleaner. I recommend you use this in a well-ventilated area or outside. The fumes are dangerous. Most types of cleaners or bore solvents have some sort of hazardous warning to them. I suggest you use that outside. If you do use a solvent at all and you do feel the need to clean your barrel, understand that a solvent is a short-term thing. You don't want to leave it on the barrel too long, otherwise it can damage the rifling. I also recommend you get either a set of needle nose pliers or a set of hemostats for those fine parts. I use a set of hemostats. It's always worked really well for me. Those are some of the tools you'll find that you need or can use while you're performing the maintenance on your 320. So let's talk about this extractor. I clean the extractor on my main 320 at about 20,000 rounds. It was pretty gunked up, probably just the load that I'm using. But if you want to clean the extractor, it's real simple. If on the extractor spring assembly, if you press down on that, you can slide the striker backplate off, and I'm going to have to use a tool to depress it. Once you slide the backplate off, you can remove the striker assembly. If you desire, I want you to take special care and note there are a couple really tiny springs on here. Alma from the team has a video on the striker assembly specifically. Should you lose that spring or the safety lever, that's the safety lever, off of the striker assembly, or feel bold and want to take it apart. I have not taken mine apart. I don't recommend it. He has a video that can show you how to fix that. So now we've got the back plate off and the extraction spring comes out, and you'll notice it has some grease on it already. And then you've got the extraction pawl, which should come out with ease. It just rotates out. Some of the areas, this is mostly clean. It looks like it has a little bit of buildup on it. Right here at the claw, you can hit it with the brush. Yeah, you can see it's got some gook on it. Hit it with the brass brush. Hit it with a little brass brush if you want. That'll get rid of some of that buildup on there, and it looks pretty good now. I've had it where it's literally just been packed and caked. It's simple to take it out. It's simple to put it back in. It will only go in one way. It basically just falls right in there. You really cannot get it in the wrong way. At least I haven't been. So you have a rounded end and you have the claw end. The claw end is the end that you want on the breech face. So I can rotate it here so you can see it. The claw goes towards the breech face, and then the round end goes back into the hole, and it falls right in. I put my fingers on it just to capture it in there. On the spring assembly, there is a notch side, and you'll see how it's got a small bevel or notch to it. That's actually going to capture on and hold the extractor in there. So insert that with the notched, the cut away towards the center line of the pistol, and you'll see it captures it in there just well. Your striker assembly will go in with the striker release facing down. Like I said, I don't do anything to the striker assembly. I've got 50,000 rounds on my primary gun, which is a lot, and I haven't felt the need to tear that thing apart. I don't think most people will. But to put it back in, you're going to depress on the striker assembly to get it to go down slightly, and then you're going to slide the striker backplate on with the notch facing towards the back strap of the pistol. And it's got notches on the slide for that striker assembly to accept the back, to pull down, and so the back plate can go into the slide portion. You're going to be able to push it in until it gets to a stop point, and that's because the extractor plunger won't let it go any further. So if you back it off a little bit, push the extractor plunger down all the way, and you may need something to help push it in. I'm going to use my trusty hemostats. I'm going to push that plunger in, and I'm going to move the striker plate back up, and now it's back into place and complete. One of the other places I found that needs a lot of cleaning, or regular cleaning, at least as I see it, is right here at the feed ramp. I will clean off that feed ramp because there will be some buildup. I don't if you have problems with chambering, you might want to take a bore brush or a chamber brush of sorts. Use that on a cleaning rod and get into the chamber and clean out the chamber. But that's probably about the extent of any type of maintenance I do on the barrel, is the feed ramp and the chamber. And then from there, I reassemble the slide, barrel back in, recoil assembly back in, make sure it's lined up. I don't mess with the fire control unit much. If I have some surfaced gook, I will knock that off with a brass brush, but generally I leave the fire control unit alone. Reseat it back into the grip, make sure it's fully in the rearward position. Put your takedown lever in place. If you rotate the takedown lever as it's entering into the grip and the fire control unit, it will move the magazine safety back out of the way, so the takedown lever can go back in the gun easier. Otherwise you might struggle a little bit. Rotate it to the fully forward position, rotate it back down. It's now fully installed back onto the gun. Reinstall the slide. Rotate takedown lever. Release slide. Function check. It looks good to go. And if you have anything you want to touch up on it or do lubrication on it or any external maintenance, you can watch another one of my videos for that. Thank you for watching.